Uh, anyway, the only reason I got into doing the Irish dancing competitions is my friend Ina O'Brien, who is an accordion player from Galway. She played fetches for 30 some years here in Toronto and in North America. She went all over the place playing these.
Yeah, nice.
And her
Beautiful.
kids were dancers too. Her son Rory got to quite a high level back in the day, but she just kept doing the fashions. And then my little girl was doing Irish dancing for a brief period of time.
Okay.
Ina was always asking me if I wanted to do fashions, and finally I said, actually that's a good idea because Sylvia's going to be doing them anyway, and I'll be there, so I might as well do something. Uh,
Right.
she was like, "That's a great idea." So she kind of forced it on me at that stage because you're supposed to do a certain amount of training with an experienced fesh musician before you start doing them, right?
Right, right, right. Wow.
Times, and all you have to do, like, it's not that hard, but it's specific. So for the jigs and reels, the way it works is, well, first of all, I got to tell you this. This is hilarious. So at the end of the day. Well, at the beginning of the day, they give you a schedule of all the different competitions you'll be playing that day. And what I noticed is at the end of each column, it's how many girls, mostly girls, some guys, are involved in each class. And so then I was able to add it up. So on Saturday, I played for 637 dancers.
Damn. That's a riot. That's
Isn't that
amazing. That's
something? It's
crazy.
incredible.
They'll remember you.
Oh my God. So, and the way it works is that you're sitting there and there's like a mob of girls and they line up. And I always say it's kind of like the British Army because they go out in twos. And so you start playing, say, a jig, and you got to play three A parts when at the
Oh,
very beginning because they take one A part to get in place and get their feet in the right position, and then off they go.
right, right,
So,
right.
and there's a girl there who sort of gets the group together, and she says 5, 6, 7, 8, and off they go, and
Oh,
and then
yeah.
32 bars, and then the next group of two are ready. So just before the present group has finished their 32 bars, the next group gets ready, and then bang, they're doing it. So
No.
they
Oh, back to
basically
back. You have
dance,
to be
yeah,
right on.
back to back,
Whoa.
just like the British soldiers. Two would go out and kneel down and shoot, and then they'd leave, and the next two would go out and kneel down and shoot.
Wow. But
The
yeah,
good
that's
girl,
dancing though. It's very accurate, isn't it? Wow.
very accurate. So that's the big thing. So the tempo has to be strict, and in fact, you have to have a metronome. You're supposed to play with a metronome for these competitions, so that the
Oh,
parents know you're not varying the tempo. And
I
I,
see.
I have lots of experience with the metronome, so I didn't mind. So I just had it in my earbud. Now the other two guys who were playing, they used a drum machine for that purpose.
Oh.
But they're not really Celtic musicians. They're kind of normal white people
Does
musicians.
that make Celtic musicians abnormal?
Definitely, most of them. And the reason I say that is because like using the drum machine is not too cool for most of us. But also they only know about a half a dozen tunes, and I felt bad for them because they had to play the same ones over and over all day long.
Mm,
Whereas I
yeah,
just sat there trying to play in whatever all day.
that
But
makes a
then
difference.
when it gets to the set dance time of the day, that's when the girls mostly have to pull off this set of steps, and a set of steps goes along with the dance. And so I have a little binder full of them in case I blank eggs. I'm always worried I'm gonna just blank and not remember how the tune goes. Uh, so uh, so there's about, I don't know, probably 20 some of these set dances, and you have to do the specific dance or tune.
Oh, I see. That's what I was asking. Yeah, yeah.
So that's later on in the day, and then that has to be a specific tempo. And sometimes the dancer tells you the tempo because there could be two possible tempos that they use, a fast and a slow.
Oh,
And get this now, the fast ones are the easier ones. So the
no.
fast tempos are for
Oh.
the beginners. The slow tempos are for the more advanced because it's hard to do Irish dancing slow. It's like dribbling a basketball slow. It's really hard to do.
Yeah.
So
Wow. I never knew that. That's amazing.
Inner
Wow.
speed for reels is 120. And for
Ooh.
the advanced speed, it's 113. So that's quite a drop in tempo, you know?
Okay, 7.
Uh,
Yeah. But that's
So I
quite a
added
bit.
it all
Yeah.
up. So and then I got the boy there who's a math genius. So I got home from the fesh and I was like, I played for 637 dancers, and I said, in each group of two, usually two, sometimes three, sometimes one, did 32 bars. So we did an average and we did the math, and I played over 10,000 bars of music during the day.
Jeez.
And then at night,
You can throw that around to your friends. I
Yeah.
know.
Put it on the back of a t-shirt. Put all these stats on the back of a t-shirt.
That's
you
what
know
you
what?
need
Geez, I
instead of
should
who
do that
needs
for the next
pants.
fish.
Yeah.
The parents would like it too. Anyway,
Yeah.
so later on, I went to the pub, McVeigh's, to play with the Irish guys. And I got finished there at about 1 in the morning, and I got home from that gig, and my boy was still up because he's on summer now. He's finished his exams, and he was like, "Wow, Dad, how long did you play down there?" And I said, "Well, 3 40 to 50 minute sets." And he did a little bit more math, and so it would seem that on Saturday I played almost 15,000 bars of music.
15,000.
Fifteen
You know what?
thousand bars of music.
That's impressive number for me to understand, but
I can't. Well, so the fesh was 8:30 until 5:30 in the afternoon for 637 dancers, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm getting a reputation for being the workhorse because the other
Uh-huh.
two musicians left before I did, and I got like 10 minutes to eat a sandwich and drink a water, and when I got up to the lunchroom, they all looked like they'd been lounging around for a half hour.
yeah.
So I'm starting to wonder now. I know that Ina before me had that reputation. She was the long haul trucker. She could go all night, whatever, no problems, no complaints. So I'm starting to wonder if I'm the new Ina, but that's okay. I can do it. If anybody can do it,
Mhm.
but I'll tell you, I am wondering if there's a Guinness record out there.
There you
Aha.
go. I think you should look into it and put your name forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
Yep.
that
You know,
Yep.
that's it. Yep.
the only traditional Guinness records that I know of, I only know of a couple. One of them is Frankie Gavin, who played Fox Hunter's reel at 150 beats per minute, which
Wow.
is intensely fast. That's like, and it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And he got the
50.
yeah, he got the Guinness record for that. So, and I didn't know there was a record for that. I think he might have called them and said, "Here's what I can do," and I think it should be a record because he's that kind of guy. And then the only other Celtic related record I know is my friend Patrick McMurray, who's the world's fastest oyster shucker.
Oyster Shocker.
I've heard of
Oh, he
that.
can. How many does he do a minute?
Thousand, like it's not 1,000, but it's an intense number. So he
Okay.
won the Guinness record for it. It was years ago now, but it was an unbelievable number of oysters.
Just like 15,000 is an
Like
unbelievable number.
15,000 bars of music coming out of my fiddle. My God. And I'll tell you, my hands were fine because I kept to the stretching. So I did this thing and I did this thing and I kept doing it. So my hands held up totally fine. My brain was getting kind of shot by the end of it, you know? Even though I know lots more tunes, it was hard to remember new ones, how they start. You know, it's like that started to get affected. But other than that, it was fine. But it's insane.
Wow.
Holy moly.
But anyways, Cape Breton is the place to be and the place to do all that, I think.
Well, that was here in Toronto, but
I'm sorry.
great time. Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
it was great to see all my brothers. And after we played at the Center 200, I stayed at my brother Sean's and we had a nice catch up. So
Good.
it was really great. Yeah. But then we tried to go to the Renaissance Fair on Sunday and it was so hot. We couldn't handle it. It was just too much. So that kind of sucked because we were really hoping to spend like half the day there. And we spent about 2 hours and we just had to leave. It was too hot.
It was too hot. Yeah, I know.
Just grab my shoes.
Okay, so what are we working on here?
I think we've got the Bally Desmond, the two of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
That's what we're working, like the polka. Those are polkas, right?
That's right.
That's what we were trying to do. And the slow one was the Ashogan
Shogun. We'll
farewell.
start with the Shogun. Such a beautiful tune. Just gonna get on my screen here.
If we do the Ballet Desmond later, I just want to show you what pieces of music I have to make sure I'm using the right ones.
Yeah, good idea. We'll start with the Shogun there, and then we'll do Valley Desmond. All right.
On the part, I don't when you get it up, there's a part in the second half,
Yeah.
the bar 7. I wrote it down because I wanted to ask you. There's a low A, and then you're zipping off to the high A, like on the G string 1, and then the A open, and it's really hard to get there that fast.
Yes.
And I keep, when I'm going to string crossing, there's always a buzz on my strings, I guess. I call it a buzz because it sounds like a buzz. But I don't know how to correct that.
Now, a buzz. Now, what do you mean by that? Like, what happens?
What happened? Well, it says, well, I know exactly what happens. My bow goes over the middle, the string in between the 2 strings.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, there's an exercise that you can do that not only improves that exact problem, but it also really strengthens string crossing in general. So, and the exercise is this, and I think I've talked about it before.
Yes, you did give us one,
Yeah.
except I don't get it. Like I keep working on it, but it's not coming to me.
So that's down, and this one exactly this down on the G, up on the A. That's what we're trying to do here. So, oh, where's my shoulder? There it is. Okay. So yeah, down on the G, up on the A. See that? And the way to do it without any sound in the middle string, you're playing that low A, and then you roll your hand over to the A. You try not to drag the bow. See that? You try to just put it over there. And you can try stopping your bow. So you finish that low A, stop your bow, move it over to the A string, and start your bow again. Watch me do it. See that? Just like that. Okay. Now, why don't you unmute your mic there, Astrid, so I can hear you do it and see what's going on. That's good.
But Dan, I'm taking a lot of time to get from here to there.
Now, here's the nice thing in this particular tune. At this stage, with that particular move that you're practicing, where you're trying not to move the bow on the middle string there, when you're first practicing that move, it's good to stop your bow. You kind of have to stop your bow. And the reason that you got to stop it is because you got to try not to move over to the next string like this, but just like this.
Oh.
Eventually, you won't need to stop your bow. But the nice thing is that in this tune, the low A is a dotted half note. So you can play it for a good long time and then stop your bow and move to the A string. I'll show you what it sounds like.
Oh.
So. See that? And that bit of space is even nice there.
Yeah, it is. It did sound nice.
Okay.
Okay.
But eventually it'll be smooth. Lovely. No problem there at all.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll
One other exercise that I'm always banging on about is silent string crossing. So that's where you put your bow on the strings and you move from G to E without making any sound. See that? Using your hand. And then you go the other way. And it's just your hand. See, it's not your arm.
Wow.
Try a little bit of that. Yep, that looks good. That looks good. Now you're still using quite a bit of arm. Like it looks more like this. You know, and for me it's just my hand and my fingers.
So you're bending your wrist, aren't you?
Yeah, so my wrist is straight for the G string, and then it's crooked for the E string.
Oh. Oh, geez. Okay.
It's good. Now, what you got going there, yeah, pretty good. This is normal. I've worked with so many people on this, and you think you're doing it, you think you're moving over like this, but you're actually just doing a tiny bit, and then your arm's doing the rest.
Yeah.
Now, I've done stuff with people. I've put things underneath their wrists so that it forces them, and that worked with some people. I found the best method was to sit here with the bow. And so the person would be sitting here, right? And then I just have the bow there. And when they went to go and change over to the strings, and I could see their arm moving, have the bow there, and give them a little, and then they'd melt. See that?
Yeah. Okay.
For most people, I'm going to tell you now, for most people that I had sitting next to me, I didn't even have to touch them. Just having the bow there did the trick.
Okay. Psychologically, they'll.
It really is a psychological thing for most. Yeah, see, look, so for you, you're getting the G string good, the straight arm. But with the E
Okay.
string,
Yep.
you're getting to about here, and then you kind of like you're doing it like that. But you could go all the way like that. Yeah, yeah, there you go. That's the E string. G string, E string.
Wow. Okay.
That looks great. Try it on your fiddle. Now, hold on now.
I don't.
Went for the G string. When you went for the G string there, you moved your arm up like that. Try going for the G string just like an Englishman drinking a cup of tea, just like that.
Okay.
Okay, good. Yes. Okay, now flop that wrist down. Oh, look at that. That's great.
Okay.
Great now.
Okay. I think I need to think of the T.
Yeah. Now I can't see your arm anymore, but it looks like you're doing it right.
All right. I should just maybe stand up or something.
That's good. That's good. Try it again. So, flop that wrist, straight wrist. Flopping the wrist, straight wrist. It's getting better. Now there's still a lot of your arm. Now, if you're looking at the Zoom screen, do you see how your arm is moving up and down the screen like that? Watch me when I do it. Not moving at all. See that?
Yeah. Wow. It's as if the whole structure of my arm is it should be down. Maybe
Yeah, that's right.
Danny, maybe I'm not holding the violin in the proper location underneath my chin. Maybe it's just.
The violin looks okay. I just think it's just kind of this misconception that your arm goes up, but it doesn't need to. That's all.
Okay. But
Good. Very good. Yep, that looks smooth and you're not making any sound.
okay.
Okay?
That's a whole new concept. All right.
Now, Heather, you're doing it pretty good there. Like you got that rollover very well. Are you making any sound? Is it still silent? You have it muted, so I can't tell. You could be cheating. I have no idea.
I feel like I'm going to drop it though sometimes when I get
Right.
down to the E string.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, that looks
Get my
great.
arm. I'm trying to get my arm in there so you can see it.
Good. Very good. Very good. And then flop her down. Oh, perfect. That looks great. Very good. That's the way to do it.
It is hard for me to keep the grip on it though.
And that's
And I know you're
normal.
not supposed to grip hard, but
No, you're not supposed to grip hard. And I always tell people when they feel like the bow is going to fall out of their hand, it's usually because they're doing it right.
Okay.
That looks great, nice and smooth there, and you're not using your arm at all. It's really good. So that's how you
There
go
we
from
go.
string to string. Okay. Well, let's see if we can put
Still
it to
takes
the
some
test.
concentration though.
That's the problem. Anything with the right hand, my teacher in Halifax, Peter Dunn, used to say anything where you're working on your right arm is hard because you can't see it. And even when you can see it, it's really hard to perceive this motion and this motion. Like, which one are you doing? It's hard to see that. See that? So you need
Mm.
an outside perspective. So for me, it was the mirror when I was a kid, because where we practiced had a mirrored door. Constantly looking at the mirror and checking it out, right? For adults, it's often the Zoom screen because they're looking at it. And then also, I had teachers that would keep an eye on me. And I was talking to a guy in front of the session, and his wife took lessons off me for the longest time. And he was like, I remember that period when I was supposed to be watching her bow. I'm going to tell you, that was like a whole year out of my life, and I'm just sitting there watching her bow. Which is true. But so I had teachers that could keep their eye on my bow and say it is moving, straight or not, because it's just really hard to tell on your own. And you can, of course, you can do it by the sound. That's what I remind everybody. Like, if it sounds good, you're probably doing it right. Anyway, let's do a quick D major scale, and then we'll try a Shogun. That was a great question, Astrid. I'm glad we worked on that stuff.
You know what, Dan, if you remember, could you send this video to me?
I will.
I'm anyways, if you don't mind,
No problem.
it'd be great because I need to evaluate my whole life here.
The awareness of the right arm thing has been a come to Jesus moment for a lot of people. It's really hard. Now, that's one of the things that's hard about teaching on Zoom is that I can't do my thing with the bow. I can't sit here and do those little corrections and like for the Suzuki kids, there would always be in the group somebody that had to go around in what they call touch elbows. So just go around and like, put your hand on the kid's elbow. So if the kids go like this to change strings, you just kind of go like that. And it doesn't take much. Little touches like that, it really works, but you can't do it on Zoom. I remember I had one student, Russ, and he was previously a nice violinist in his youth. He had lessons. And you could hear, like when he was relaxed, a very nice sound out of the fiddle. But he couldn't relax, and everything was tense all the time. And so he'd be trying to change strings, and he'd be trying to do it, but it would just be like, "Argh!" And I actually he was the most extreme, I had to use Jennifer's tuba stand because it has this curved thing that would accept his forearm. So I got him to put the forearm on the stand, then I put the bow above his forearm, and then finally he started doing it. See that? But even then, it was only by little degrees. And then we had to work on it until it got bigger and smoother and more comfortable. Okay, so anything with the right arm, little degrees until it starts working. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right, D major. Nice. Okay, ready, go. Arpeggio. very well. I messed up my F sharp on the E string, but that was a mechanical issue. Other than that, I did well. How did you guys do? You feel pretty good? Like an 80, maybe? Okay, let's go faster then. Up the game. A 1, 2, 3, go. All right, for me, that was a perfect game. Okay, let's give a Shogun a little go, shall we? Lovely old tune. And I don't know about the oh yeah, so the version. Somebody's asking about the version. I have 2 versions here. Let's see. Now, do you guys have the one that says by Jay Younger in the top right hand corner? No, you have the simpler one? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, you have 2 different ones. Yeah. So now the one, and let's take a look at these actually side by side. I'm just going to share my screen. So I don't know if you have the simpler one, Astrid. This is what, so here's the one that you're looking at, Astrid. It says by Jay Younger right here. See that?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Now it's all the same, except that this one here has the big long second ending with the high D.
Yeah.
This is the one that you're looking at there, Heather. See that? So that's the simpler one. And basically it doesn't have that ending. That's really the only difference. But let's work from the same hymn sheet. So do you have this simpler one, Astrid? I just asked.
No, that I don't. No.
Okay, well, I'll just leave it up here.
Okay.
You can work with that one. You know, the high D is fun, but we haven't got there yet, so. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's give this thing a go. Ready, and... Now, I remember last time we were talking about how they forgot to put number one here for these two bars to show you that it's the first ending. So you got to go to number two. The second time around, skip these two bars and go to number two. And then also, there's no repeat here. They have a repeat for like kind of the whole thing. It's weird. So no repeat.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask that. Okay, great.
Now, how did you guys get along with all that? Is it okay? Copacetic?
Good. I was trying to do a little more of the loose wrist thing as we kept going across the
Oh,
strings. So it made it a little bit messier, but it's good practice, right?
it
So
is.
anyway, that was my project while I played that one.
That's good. Now, you say it made it a bit messier. That's a good sign. People usually describe that when they first start to use the fine motor control over the bow, right? And it's only because you're first starting to do it. So it'll clean up. Don't worry about that. It'll get nice and clean as you go along. How was your string changing there, Astrid? Did that work that time a little better?
Well, I think, you know what? I sounded pretty good, sounded pure, let's just say. But I know that I'm having this trouble with my cross, my anyways, what we were just working on.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new thing I have to work on. I don't
No.
I'm gonna have to figure it all out first. I have to analyze things first, Dan, and then I go with it.
I
But
hear you.
I'm playing it as if I'm thinking it's fine. I'm still having trouble though with my down bow on the first beat and trying to get that waltz feel. But I, it's a lot to think about. So
It is.
that
You know, the thing about the wrist, like I said to Heather, it might make everything a little bit messier at first, but it's just something that you want to concentrate on. And then with the waltz feel, now I was working on this with somebody just the other day as well. That you just got to get that by osmosis. So we're just going to do it again.
okay, all right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I don't know if I nailed it or not. My tuner wasn't on the screen. I hope I did though. Anyway, I was gonna say as well, with the bowing thing, when you with the feel thing, when you're going through it like that, it's good to exaggerate this idea, and then a little bit of it comes through. Okay, so it's good to exaggerate that kind of da 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 da. See what I mean? Just like any opportunity, and it can be fun too. Anyway, get along a little
Boy,
bit
you
that time.
sure make us feel good when you've got all the harmony going. We sound so good.
Oh, good. That's all just, and if you're trying that stuff, all you got to do is pick notes from the D major double stop, or sorry, D major arpeggio. Anytime. It'll always work, whatever's available. Okay? Now we'll get these polkas out. With all those 637 girls, there was only 3 criers. No, I should say 4. 4 criers. And 2 of them ran off the stage into their mother's arms. Oh my God. We had one panicker who just couldn't get started. The girls counted her in like 4 or 5 times. She just could not start dancing. Now then, later in the day, I saw her again. So she must have had another crack at it, which I guess makes 638 dancers for me. But anyway, she did finally do it. And then we had 2 fallers. So, which I was impressed. 637 girls and only 2 of them fell. One of them fell and had to stop. And she kind of hurt her ankle. Not, I don't think seriously, but she had to stop. The other girl fell down on her arse, right back up, barely missed a beat, man. I was very impressed.
Professional.
Professional, yes. What is it, girl? I gotta let my cat out. Sorry, guys. Come on, girl.
Astrid, which belly desma are you looking at? I've got a bunch of different ones. They're saying that number 1 is 2. What have you got? I can't see it.
Oh, there. That is my first one. So I always look at the second bar, and the second bar has 3 notes in it, and the rest are all 4. So that
okay, I have it here.
Okay, that's what I call the first one, and then the second one.
Okay, let's see what you got there.
Looks like that. That's my second one, I think.
That's the second one there, Astrid. Yes.
Okay, and that's got
It starts with
a variety of notes in each bar. Let's just say.
So the one that comes number 2, the one that Astrid's holding up there now, that's number 2, and the pickup notes are A and B, but the first 2 notes of the tune are a big C and B quarter notes. So that's one we're working with it, and that's number 2. Now, what about number 2 in the set? In name, it's actually, I think, number 1. Now let's see the other one.
I was explaining that the only bar with 3 notes in it is the second bar. That's how I figure them out.
Yeah, that's the first one. That's what we're doing. Is that the one you got, Heather? It's different. You got a different one. So many versions on the session.
This one?
That's the second one.
Okay.
I know it's called number 1, but it's the second one in the set. Let's see this one here.
That's different.
No, that's also the second one. So let me see that. Let me see that first one.
And is this any different?
Let me
I
see.
don't know what this is.
Yeah, that's the first one, but it's not the same as what Astrid got. Now, how many versions do you have, Astrid?
Just 2. The ones like that we've been playing, I remember. They're
Okay, let me just take a quick look at the session.org and give you guys the absolute Bible truth on what's the right one. Because this is terrible. The session.org is just full of misinformation. It's terrible. It's rife. Okay, so Valley Desmond number 1. Okay. Now, can I see yours once more, Astrid?
this is what I call the second, what you are calling the second. It might come out blurry. I don't know why, but
Pull her back.
whoop. How's that?
Okay, that's the second. Try. Show me the other one.
Okay. Whoop. There's no pickup on this one.
Okay, thank you. I'll find it. Yeah, I found it. It's number 5. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll put this up on the screen. Now it's almost exactly the same as yours, Heather. I think yours just has a couple extra notes.
Yeah, that was a fellow who was teaching here for a little while in the community, and he does minor rearrangements
Oh yeah.
to it. So
Oh, neat.
yeah.
Yeah. And these are such good tunes to have. Like it's good. It's good to hear that he's teaching that because they're must-haves.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was a real stickler for where your bow should be at the beginning of each bar. Which
Yeah,
is a
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good idea.
What do you mean by that?
Just
Down bow?
he would rearrange to make sure you're going down bow at the beginning of the bar, generally, like
Yes.
so it sounded good.
Now let me show you guys. I'll just show you before we try it. Okay, so here's the Valley Desmond here. So for instance, in the first couple of bars here, you're going to mess up your bowing. So you're going to start on down. So you're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? And then that means now you're going to be going up for this one. So you have to correct your bow. So what I would do to correct my bow is I would do this G and this F in and up bow, and then you're back to normal. Watch. That's what everybody does, I should say. See that? And then you're back to normal. And we've done it in reels before. It's an up-up, basically. It's where you do, after a long note, the next 2 notes you do in and up bow. Now, I think that's all you have to do for the first part, except at the end. No, that's it. That's all you got to do for that, for the first part. And I think in the second part, it's all straight bowing too. Yeah, no problem there. So the only thing you got to do in the Valley Desmond number 1 is the up between this G and this F. Otherwise, you can go downy uppy for the whole thing. Okay? Anyway, let's give it a try.
Oh,
And I'll get the other one up here too. Here it is. Yeah. Okay, let's have a go. And let's see, for speed, like that. Let's see what happens here. Let's do 3 times each in the Irish style. 1, 2, 3, go. Now in that second polka, the Ballydesmond, you do have some bowing. So you got to do the pickup. You should do in an up bow. So this A to B should be an up bow. Okay, up bow slur. And then you got down, up, up here. Pretty important to get that in. Up between the G and the A. Okay. And then you got another one. So down, up, up. Here too. And then it's straight dee diddle 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 down, downy uppy downy uppy down. And then to get into the second part, you got to do another up. See that? The pickup. Now, I'm sure you guys have noticed pickup notes are consistently up bows. They're because it's the big up before the down, right? So you're usually gonna, and if it's two notes, they're both in the up bow, and that's the case here. So then you got, so up, down, or down, up, down, down, up. Same as in the first part. Downy, uppy, down, up. See that? So that's what you got to do there. Now you don't have to. The nice thing about polkas is that you can pretty well bow it whatever way you want because they're so simple. However, if you want to get to a certain speed, you kind of have to do it this way. Okay? We'll try it one more time, these two tunes together. Oh. So I'll send you guys the video when I'm done, but I'm presently I want to make a more sort of involved YouTube channel. So far my YouTube channel is just I do stuff I did for students, whether I happen to be sitting here when they wanted me to record a tune. But I want to actually make content. So the first thing I'm doing is taking this old violin here that one of my students found in their neighbor's house, and I'm going to put strings on it the proper way. And I was working on that today, and I paid my boy to be a cameraman, and I'm going to tell you, it worked out great. He had great ideas. And plus he doesn't care about playing the fiddle, so if he was interested in what was happening, I knew that was cool. So when I get done, it's probably going to be about a 15-minute video. So when I get done, I'll send it to you guys and see what you think. And you got to be honest and tell me if you get bored. Okay,
That's
Sylvia was
great.
quite honest.
No, but that's great. That's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the big things that I get questions about all the time. How do I put strings on my fiddle properly? So that's what I'm going to do. And it's a nice old fiddle too, the one that I got fixed up, and I talk about how it had to get fixed up. So anyway, let's give this one more try. Downy, uppy, up. No. Downy, uppy, down, up, down. 1, 2, 3, go. polka music. Okay, so hopefully the bowing helps. Now, next time what we'll do, since we just talked about the bowing and you guys wrote it down there tonight, you're going to have some time with it. Next time we'll go slow and we'll get that bowing in there, okay? And if it's not getting in, we'll figure out why. Now, just to clarify with the old calendar, because it's getting busy season now, next week I'm going to be in Cape Breton. We're leaving on Tuesday for our tour, me and my band. And we will be playing at the session at the Blue Mist Tavern in Berdor
Wow.
next Thursday. But the one after that, the 10th, I'm good to go.
Okay.
So we'll be
What's
back
that
for the
date?
10th.
The
July
10th
10, you said?
July 10th, I'll be back for July 10th.
Okay.
And I can regale you with stories about my band
please.
members making fools of themselves in Cape Breton. Certainly not me making a fool of myself.
Certainly
No.
not you, Dan.
Never.
That wouldn't be the narrative, I don't think. So anyway, I'll let you know. Thanks a lot,
Great.
guys.
Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.